Un treno!
Alla deriva il fin dell'innocenza, deportato a un gioco di rassegnazione, paventando una sopravvivenza nei lontani giorni di disperazione. Un pazzo sossegno la vita tramutare oltre i confini della razionalità, scavalcare il dolore che ci asciuga la via, lieti di un respiro di follia, laddove attendono la luce in una mano di chi dicono plasmò l'umanità. Ci svegliamo in un destino disumano, soli sella ad un'ignota nudità, e in un treno raccoglie il mondo e ci incontro con un placido delirio di poesia, per salvar dal dolore di innocente agonia con un folle ad indicar la via. E corre il treno ad ingannare l'apparenza di condanne senza colpe e verità. Io conforto cerco nella mia coscienza per scovarmi il treno la mia libertà, a cercare riparo a lungo condannati tra le foglie anguse dell'inciviltà, per trovare la via per fuggire al di là delle foglie dell'umanità. Non mi lasciare, non dimenticare la terra che lasciamo per andare via lontano, come se potessi scavalcare muri inumani che avevamo visto già, ma devo andare. Non dimenticare, non cancellare i sogni, gli occhi della gente mia, scavalchiamo il dolore che ci asciuga la via con un bel respiro di follia. Nella storia di una vita deportata, riposata da una lieta assurdità, vivo il giorno di una sorte malandata, con un fremito di umana dignità, e strappando il corso di un meschino tempo, maestri seguono un delirio la magia, per salvar dal dolore di innocente agonia con un folle ad indicar la via. Lieto riconduco l'anima al suolo del mio antico porto, tra invisibili notte di un far buffone rilassata al suono di un legittimo canto distorto. Dall'esilio dell'immaginazione vagai tra gente e terre che mi hanno adottato, e in cambio di una risata e chi di storia lungo le strade di una saggezza dimenticata, di indomabili notti calde di gloria. Paladini di antichi scranni spolverati a novella parvenza, arruolati da sciocchi predicatori, nell'agonia dei prestigiatori non c'è differenza, tra le nuvole e l'illusione, domatori di voti, grazie ma dipinte battute non so campare.
See, that's one instrument that when I pretend to play it, I'm really bad at it. There's some instruments that when I like fake play them, I know exactly what I'm doing. There's some where I do not, I admittedly do not, but I'm not out here trying to do it in a movie or anything. Let's talk about that throughout the stream today. What do you guys think are the best and worst performances by an actor in a movie pretending to be a musician. The best and worst that you ever saw in your entire life. Because there are, for example, when I think about like the best ever, I think about Ralph Macchio in Crossroads. If you haven't seen Crossroads, it's literally just the Karate Kid and almost exactly the Karate Kid, but with guitars. And that's it. It's the same actor. Instead of Mr. Miyagi, they bring in old Willie Brown, who is like this. He's like an old blues musician. He's living in a hospital, and they go on this road trip. That was the best I ever saw. But there was a guy named Arlen Roth who helped Ralph Macchio make sure he knew where to put his hands to make it at least appear that he was sort of doing this, right? And I always really admired Ralph Macchio for doing that. I always remember, because there's other actors who've done it and who've just done a fucking train wreck, right? You've all seen this, right? Or this, in the movies, and they're like singing away, and then they're just doing this kind of thing. Or there's like, like I always liked the one time that Nirvana was made to lip sync, because on this one video, you can look it up, it's right up in the search bar up here. They played Top of the Pops or some cheesy show, and then they all just kind of like, pretended, didn't even come close to pretending, didn't set the gear up right. It was hilarious. What's going on, Pedro? What's going on, Ton? Gets out. My name is Tyler. Welcome to the NXM show. It's a Friday. I hope a lot of people end up in here. That would make me real happy. That would make me super happy today. It's Friday. We're checking out some PCDSP, some Polychrome DSP Lumos. Today is actually supposed to be the Range 120 amp from Nimbrini Audio, the new orange, which was, by the way, the last secret plugin. This particular plugin was the other one that I was going to do tomorrow if I find the time, but then we're going to do it today anyway. Now, my first thought, I'm just looking at it from a distance. My thought is that this is going to be along the lines of Neural DSP's Archetype Cory Wong, which was one of those plugins that came out and shocked all of the Neural fanboys. And in fact, at that point, there was a lot of people and just in general that were just like, what? When Archetype Cory Wong came out. But he's so well respected that nobody complained. There was like, you had a few of your Genty type guys and stuff. They're like, oh, this is a bummer. I didn't want this at all. It's just like, whatever. But man, I think that Neural DSP's Archetype Cory Wong is also, after the first while, has sort of just gone down the road and become one of like the sort of all-in-one clean suites ever. I think that is one of the best edge of breakup one of the best edge of breakup tones that you're gonna get, and to clean tones, it's fantastic. This, I think, is gonna be along the same lines. Nice, Ton. That's cool, man. Thank you very much for being here. Happy birthday. I'm not gonna sing happy birthday to you because I hate it. I hate when I don't like when people sing it to me. I really don't. So I'm not going to sing it to you out of respect. I'm just going to tune up. This is my Charvel. This is my Charvel Skatecaster. And this is, these are armed with Billy Corgan Z1 pickups. And these are incredible pickups. They are kind of a P90 type gig here. P90 type sound. I'm told you shouldn't say the word gig because it makes you sound like a boomer. I have to say shows. Well, I grew up with show, and I agree. Gig is kind of an older piece of terminology, but it's one that you pick up nonetheless. All right, so this came out the other day, and I'm just gonna hang out with it. This is again Railhammer, Billy Corgan Z1s. Check out the graphics. Super cool. Ronnie Webster. I vaguely recall your name. Have you been in here before? If you haven't, welcome. If you have not, welcome to the channel. I don't know what happened there. Thanks, Pedro. 29 and running. I recently turned 47 myself, so I can appreciate getting a little older. And right away, I'm greeted with a wonderfully warm default tone here. Ooh. Wow, it's P90s and I can get it real nice and snappy already. Okay, let's get this going. I'm excited to see what this thing has got. Now, I see this is kind of like nunchuck in the case where we've got, you know, your multiple different amps, and over here you've got some modifications. That's pretty cool. And we've got a pretty, really, the gain's at 5 right now. What is the gain at 0 then? All right, just super clean. Super clean. All right, we gotta beef this up a little bit. A little hot on the end there, nice. They have compression up there, but they also have a compressor. I'm just gonna go with the compressor here. I was gonna try their standard settings. Pretty nice. I really wanted to grab my Telecaster for this one, but I decided why not go, since I haven't used this in a while, why not go with this and go with these beautiful sounding P90s for it. Ronnie Webster, nice to see you. Rudy Castillo. Oh, it's a clean amp sim, bummer. It's not just going to be cleans today, though, buddy. It's clean, edge of breakup, some classic sounds. But whether you do or don't play a lot of clean, I think everybody needs a good clean sounding plugin. And so far, this sounds pretty good to me. But no, Rudy, it's not all clean today. We're going to be going after Nunchuck, Nutcracker, Kiesel Hyper Rig as well. So there'll be some gainy tones on the back end. Not even the back end. We're going to go probably first half will be Lumos here. I think that's what they're calling it. Is it Lumos? Lumos? Is it? There's got to be a video. I guarantee there's like 9 videos out right now with like these absolutely perfect guitar players playing perfectly and shredding the living shit out of something, and perfect players playing perfectly is all you ever really see in the demos for these. And I think there's a place for that for sure. They're always every demo I've ever seen from Polychrome DSP is very, very clean, like hospital clean. And they've got some very, very good players under their artist roster. Obviously, Thomas is extremely well connected, and through years and years and years of his own career prior to Polychrome, plus lessons, plus just being a YouTuber and Instagrammer and everything else. He's very busy, very busy. He's always been very active, so he's built up a lot of players that really want to be involved, right? That want to test these out and do really sick demos. So yeah. Ronnie Webster, I usually do more high gain stuff, but I got the Amped Plexi plugin from ML Sound Lab, and I'm doing a ghost cover. But I'm doing vocals more like the guy from Tribulation. That's cool, man. I appreciate that. Buddy counter 1. Look at this guy pretending he knows everything. I really don't know anything. However, there's a guy that just showed up who does know some things, and as usual, I like to give Scott a little plug. Make sure you check out Chernobyl Audio. I like this so far. Wow. I've barely got anything happening right now. This is going to be a surf dream, by the way. I see the spring reverb here. And if you're not into surf tones, I get it, but I'm one of those people that sees surf music as one of basically the start of heavy metal. The very first guitar hero, in my opinion, was Dick Dale. Louder amps, lower tuning, thicker strings, faster playing, faster tempos, solos, all sorts of things. I think he was one of the very first actual guitar heroes that ever existed. So lots of respect to him and his tone, man. I don't care if you like surf music or not, but you cannot deny that the tones for surf music there's something really haunting and punchy about them. So maybe at some point today we'll go after a surfy type tone. I've got nothing happening right now in this chain, and already I'm really liking it, which is interesting. Wow, they've got a spring verb in the amp and a spring verb in the chain after the amp too, which is cool. I like that. Okay, so I'm just gonna keep it on the clean console. I'm getting the feeling that it's gonna give you that Cory Wong funk machine type of thing. We're gonna get there. I'd really like to pull the Telecaster out for that one, but we'll see. Hold on here. Let me read through. Howdy, hope it's all... Yeah, absolutely. Things are going... I've had the most fantastic couple of days here. There were two very, very wrong things in my life at the start of this week, and causing me a lot of issues. As mentioned, we're working on a project, a disc golf course that is being chiseled into essentially fucking Narnia. I never, ever in my life want to see another pile of dead trees ever fucking again after this is all done. So anyways, we've got these big piles of dead trees. Didn't know how we're going to get rid of them. Had no idea. It's very expensive. We had a Hail Mary come through, and now we are figuring it out, and there is a solution in place that's not going to cost a lot of money. I'm so happy. And then the most important thing, I was very quiet about this because it kind of came up quick, but Brimir, one of our animals around here, is one of our boys that you see walking around in the background, walking across my desk. One of my very favorite animals. He had his glands got abnormally enlarged, like really, really swollen glands. And a little bit of swollen glands is like, okay, something might be up. And then he was like this. Like, guys, there was like, instead of 2, there were 4 glands, like just like, ah. And we thought, and the vet thought lymphoma. We were preparing for the worst, and we got great news. It's not cancer. He's going to be fine. So excited. Anybody that's ever received really good news about a pet, or a human being for that matter, but anybody that's got a pet that's received good news when waiting for good news from tests and stuff, man, you know that feeling. So let's check out some of these mods. Boost. Oh. Big gun. How's everybody fucking doing? Started playing Far Cry 5 again. It's like, I'm stoked again on Far Cry 5. I don't know why I didn't think I was gonna be. I'm thinking about 6, but I played 6 twice because I fucking just love Guapo so much. I love El Chicharron. I love their animal accompaniment in that game. It's just so fucking awesome. But I just played through it twice. I was kind of done with it. Far Cry 5 though, you just, man, the whole cult thing, it's just great. You feel no guilt whatsoever. Which game are we talking about? Buddy counter. I love the buddy counter. I wish I had an actual buddy counter. I love Volbeat, but what the fuck that guy's saying? Nice guitar tone too. Leads me to believe he's using his middle pickup selector though. Does anybody else think that when they listen to Volbeat that he's using his middle pickup position? Hey, listen to that again. Listen to that. What do you guys think? That sounds like a middle, eh? Can't quite tell. The guy's got a super unique tone, though. Super unique tone. Unique guitar tone. Whether you like or dislike Volbeat, I don't care. It's just you can't deny that their tone is different. It's a bit different. There's something going on in that tone. I'd almost think P90s, but I think he uses EMGs. Or at least he did. Okay, you guys need to cut. Can you guys please? I need someone to counsel me on Elden Ring. Because I've hovered over that buy button a bunch of times. I'm not gonna buy it anytime soon. Winter time is what I'm thinking. When that new expansion comes out, they're gonna be pushing. By the way, if you're like, I'm here to hear tones. Can you start playing guitar? We talk a lot here. It's what we do on Fridays or every stream, but we're gonna play a lot too. Don't worry. We talk about video games. I'm interested. I've hovered over that purchase button, and I'm curious. I am not a fan of the Dark Souls games at all because they're just simply too fucking hard. Okay? Now, as somebody that does not like the difficulty level of the Souls games, is Elden Ring for me? As I've been told, no. Let me know what you think in the comments. Which game are we talking about playing on PC? Wait, check out Stellar Blade? When did this start? How did this whole thing start? Do you guys know each other? Might jump into... Oh, I see. Killing Floor 2 for a bit. Cool. Is that the Wait, is that the remastered one? Wait, no. That's the different game. I saw that come up the other day, though. I wasn't really sure how I felt. If I was... I don't know. I'm not sure if it's my type of game. Doom for the... Oh, man. Doom Dark Ages looks insane. When I look at it, what I feel, it's like I'm looking at a Lorna Shore song. It's just no, not even. It's like I'm looking at, which is the most hectic music you guys can imagine. Like Dillinger, like the original, like the first Dillinger before they got that shitty singer. Fucking hate that guy, that Greg Puciato. Just like that guy. Don't like him. I can't say I don't know as a person. Maybe he's a nice guy. Don't like the singer. Anyways, when I look at Doom Dark Ages, I just picture like it's just hectic. Like, I don't know, man. I think it would probably give me some sort of a fucking panic attack. That ain't your granddaddy's Doom anymore. This sounds fantastic, by the way. Lumos coming with the heat. So here's what I'm hearing the difference between this and Archetype Cory Wong right off the top is that there's a much more rich and vibrant gain to this. Like the edge of breakup is way more, like it's got way more snarl to it. As soon as I touched that boost switch, even the clean tone got like kind of pissed off. It was like, oh, don't be poking me, brother. This is like late career no effects tone right here. You guys need more guitar volume, probably. I'm assuming. This is like El Jefe and Eric's tones right near the end of No Effects. They were basically playing clean. I really want to watch the full. Like I haven't actually watched the full. The final No Effects, the farewell No Effects show just yet, but I kind of want to. It's that's one that I got like choking it up. That's basically all they were using for gain near the end of their career. Maybe about here, actually. Okay, so that's starting to get a little bit shiny. We're gonna bring a little of the mids. Let's go left to right, guys. All right, so we've got the wah-wah. We've got the funk filter. We're going to try that. We have the comp, which is essential with anything clean or like edge of breakup, I think. This would also be like a southern rock beast. Okay. We've got the multi-mod, which is chorus, flange, and phaser. Two of my favorites and one effect that I admittedly don't like a ton, but I'm starting to like more. I'm starting to enjoy flanger more. I don't mind the flanger as much as I used to, as long as it's not overly like swirly. I hate extreme settings. Am I alone? in that? Am I alone in only liking subtle settings on like modulation stuff, like chorus, flanger, phaser, and stuff? I like a nice, slow, subtle vibe of what's going on. Anything that starts to like where people set extreme settings on any of those, I start to go, ah. Anyways, next, I'm getting the feeling this is drive pedals. Yes, this is dual shifts. This is Octaver. We've got the hyper tune up here, just in case we want to do the low. As mentioned, is this as resonant as it would be if I was playing in this tuning? Shit, no. It is definitely not. So again, as I've told people a million times, drop tuners or pitch shifters, whatever you want to call these do not replace playing in a lower tuning. Use them for small parts, yes. Use them for full songs, fuck no. And one guy was saying, I record my bass with nothing but my guitar. He's like, and you're saying that in a bragging way, are you? So you're telling me. So what you're telling me is your mixes sound like garbage then, I would imagine, because can you imagine recording your bass with your guitar though? Like, sure, it's neat to have this ability to get this low, but like, listen to the resonance. That is not a bass string. You know what I mean? And there is a very big difference. There's no piece of software out there that turns like a 52 or a 50 to like a 125, if you know your string gauges. There's nothing out there that's going to do that. But that being said, there's some ways you can fake it a little bit better too by adding a little bit of gain and stuff like that and recording smaller parts. It works for demos if you're just trying to show like, okay, I'm going to record this little demo and I really want to show, I'm going to do this part. And then I want to show my bass player what I would love to hear in this part. So I'm going to go. And so that at least gives your bass player of I see what he wants from me there. And I'm going to write something that's similar to that or write around it. I get that, but that being said, I don't think I get too crazy with these. Sorry guys, I'm reading back. And I'm still not current with the comments here. Got my PS4 DualShock into the PC and it works. Nice. We have like a it's called a Batocera. Batocera. It's like my old recording computer is just loaded with emulators for like old systems. But the wife and I haven't busted that out in a while. And when I really want the wife to get like so focused that you can throw things at her and she probably won't even notice it, you get her playing Lemmings, and it's amazing to watch. It's like the focus is there. It's not like the new games where it's like the ADHD is real in new games, but old games like Lemmings, man, you need like any of the old games, they are not meant for the weak. Old games are hard, and we realized how hard lots of old games really are when we started going back to the NES, whether it's the 8-bit, 16-bit, etc. We started going back, and man, some of those games are hard as fuck. Tell me, anybody out there that's played the game 1943, how far have you made it? You finished it, have you? Bullshit. Bullshit, you did. It's like someone telling you that they finished Ghosts and Ghouls. Didn't happen. It didn't happen. Show me. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. Elden Ring is not for you. Deal. Thank you. I follow Scott's channel, and he's a friend of my buddy Taylor Dan. You're buddies with Taylor Danley? Nice. Please do tell Taylor that Tyler from the Amsterdam Universe and Wavemind and etc. says hello. I've talked to him through Instagram a number of times about things, and actually, Taylor knows some things. I happen to share with him the coming plugins from a couple of the developers that I work with, just to see if he'd be interested in doing demos well out And boy, is he excited about it. Guys, there's some big metal coming out. Like, this year is going to be packed full of metal signature stuff and stuff that's going to give metal fans of half heart attacks out there. So Taylor was very excited about it. Super nice guy. If you have not heard of Taylor Danley, but yet you're here somehow, I probably wouldn't believe you. But if you have not heard of the man, please go follow his channel. He's another one of those guys that we like to talk about on this channel. Guys that can get a fucking good, a good fucking tone out of a potato. It's like watching, there are a lot of people that just can do something with anything. Example, I was just watching a YouTuber called Bat Bros. That guy can hit a home run with a potato. You know, Taylor Danley is another guy that could get great tone from a potato if necessary. And I love watching content creators that can just get good tone out of anything. You have a lot of people that, you know, I hate hearing back from content creators in an AR role, and they just like, I just couldn't get a good sound out of it. Really? I just couldn't get you couldn't get a good sound out of it at all? And, you know, we're talking about, come to me and tell me, I just don't like the plugin. We'll have a quick chat, but don't just come to me and say that you can't get a good tone out of it, so you don't want to work with it. Tell me what you don't like. And if you're out there and, you know, a developer has given you a piece of software that you don't like, here's my thought as an AR person. Don't do the demo. Okay? Don't do the demo, because if you don't feel creative, there's a lot of pressure out there. When you get something for free from a developer, you have to turn in a demo. And in some cases, with some developers, I would say, yes, you probably should turn in that demo. But I'm saying with most developers are going to respect the fact if you reach out to them and say, guys, this one is not for me. And most developers, in fact, I think all developers would understand, because if you're not feeling inspired by the software, you're not going to feel creative. And therefore, what you create is going to be kind of against the grain. It's not going to be your usual thing. It's going to be uncomfortable. You're not going to enjoy yourself. And no plugin developer out there wants you to force that. But what they would appreciate is if you reach out to them and tell them, I didn't really like this plugin, and specifically why and what you didn't like about the plugin, so that next time that developer knows what to send you and what not to send you. You know what I mean? You know, if you're like, I don't really like plugins that do just cleans. I don't really want to do a demo for this. No problem. I'll hit you up with the next high gain. Just be honest, and most developers are going to really appreciate that. All right. What's going on, Eddie? Nice to see you, buddy. Ronnie Webster was a sweaty Quake player for a long time. Wow, that is a 10 out of 10 insult. Chirp. I'm not going to call that an insult. That's more of a chirp. Was 10 or 11 when it came out. Obsessed over it. 29 years later. So you guys talking about the new remastered Quake? Like the old school remastered Quake? Man, 1,600 hours into a game. I think I've definitely put over 1,000 hours into Skyrim. 100%. There's no way I'm under 1,000 hours for Skyrim. There's no way. That's sad. 1,000 hours. That's not a brag. That's not a brag. That's just a Jesus I'd play. But if I had to think of which game I've probably diced the most pointless amount of time in, is the MLB The Show series of games. I'm a baseball fan. I love baseball. I love being like doing the general manager thing and managing every level of my franchise and playing as many levels of the franchise as I can, and just sitting there doing absolutely nothing but tinkering for hours. Man, I can't even imagine how much time I've got into those games. All right, we've got Duo, Shift, Drive, Tremolo, and Vibes. Vibrato and Flutter. They have left no stone unturned. Here is the typical cabinet section. These look to be all 212 cabinets, which is interesting. I think there probably could have been a 412 in here, being that some of these are gainy. But we're only on clean right now, and we've kind of got a bit of a snotty snot going on, you know, like it's kind of snotty. So I would imagine that this probably gets even more angrier. Okay, let's turn off the compression. I'm just gonna sniff around some of these channels, and we're gonna get going. Doing dime squeals sounded just like chicks. You gonna jump off now? See you later, dude. Keep the buddy counter going and get that up on stream. I don't even know. How would I even do that? Is there something I can set where... Nah, I don't even know if that's possible. You'd have to have somebody off screen, like, actually, like, hitting the buddy button. I don't know if that would work. Pedro, you're the buddy... You're the buddy button guy. Just kidding, buddy. Oh, no. I did it. Canadian as hell up here. All right, let's go to rhythm and see what we got. That just sounds like a completely different amp. I like it. That sounds pretty ripping to me, guys. I don't know. That sounds pretty fun. Skyrim is a religion, though. Got to get the right cab IR on your set or mic position. It's like, no dumbbells or fenders for me. There, in this, guys, there's a... I constantly get people asking, and I imagine they do too over at Polychrome, but people ask often what these are based on. And in this case, keep in mind that they have their own proprietary way of doing things. They can create their own completely Franken amp that they invented themselves. Like, you know, like a lot of this stuff, they just do things in a bit of a different way. So no amp was directly modeled. Like nobody sat and hooked anything up to an amp, the amp itself. I don't, or maybe, I mean, I'm not even really sure, to be honest, anymore. Maybe they changed the way they were doing things, but I know there was more of a proprietary way of doing things there. It's super smart, and man, and you know, Luca is one of the best in the entire world at what he does. The Tolex, this wicker look or whatever this is, kind of looks like, you remember those old rocking chairs from like the 80s? And they had this material on the back, and then sometimes they would be like, they would get so dry that like it would break. Like the material on the back of the chair, and like the butt of the chair would break. That's what it looks like to me, is that material. I fell through a chair like that once. Very sad. Ended up totally like my neck and my knees were here and legs were over. I was a little kid though. It's still traumatic moment because it was at this friend of mine's house, and it was like super embarrassing because there was like other friends there. Monday at school, they're all talking about how I fell through a chair. But that was at an age where you couldn't be proud of something like that. These, you know, there's a certain age where like, man, Tyler fell through a chair. And I would have been like, yeah, I did. But back at those days, you got to be embarrassed about everything when you're kids. OG Quake pre-remaster, but also remastered Quake. Interesting. Very cool. Let's change some cabinets here. Oh, I see. There are 4. Oh, never mind. Okay, never mind. I'm wrong. You go to clean. I see what they've done here. They've given you for the clean amp. Ah, wonderful. Okay. So they've given you 2 12s here, 4 12s here, and 4 12s here. The console we have is a 112, or what is the story here? Let's check this thing out. I really want to try this console. Let's try it out. I knew this thing's gonna be awesome. Can we make it all super funk town? Okay, let's try this funk filter. I want to know what this does. Yeah, of course it does. That's awesome. Let's try this again. Super fun. Hey, dude, nice. Hey. Oh, this thing's awesome. Oh, it's awesome. It's good. And I'm noticing that this is also changing. They don't stay the same. It doesn't give you the same exact set of controls per amp either, which I really like. They've given you low mid, high mid, treble, sparkle, tube, etc., which is pretty sick. That's awesome. I gotta turn this up though. Is it as quiet on your end as I think it might be, guys? Man, this thing's super fun. It's fairly audible. Nice. I don't think I can play that. That's keyboard though, eh? Superstition? A lot of people think that's guitar, but it's actually one of those really crusty old fucking 70s organs with no resonance whatsoever. That's all. That was me playing piano. As you can see, I'm a gifted pianist as well. We're still talking about who is the best and the worst movie faker of all time. Any instrument, doesn't have to be guitar. Who is the best? Could it be Miles? What's that dude named Miles Keller? Is that dude's name? Miles Keller, the guy that was in Whiplash. Still haven't seen that movie. This is fucking awesome. I kind of wish I had my Telecaster with my middle pickup right now. That would be quacky as all fuck, but man, my fingers are sticky. Jamie Foxx. What about Jamie Foxx? Jamie Foxx was the best ever for Ray. Okay. But we couldn't really see his hands as much in that movie. It's so easy to fake piano in a movie because what they do is they cut it off at the piano, and every time they show the actual hands, it's a hand double every time, and then they'll make it look like, and then they'll just make that person make sure their hands are in the right spots, ballpark highs to lows, and etc. Right? But even then, they can really hide it if they keep their hands nice and low and their elbows nice and low. With guitar, you can kind of do that, but it'll be way too obvious. I know they did it in Back to the Future in that first scene of a Johnny B. Good, where he's like, there's one little part where in that you could tell they went to somebody else. But I think he'd also, Michael J. Fox actually played a lot of guitar in the movie. Because he actually is a guitarist. So, but yeah, Ralph Macchio. Who's the worst though? Who's the absolute worst you ever saw? I remember thinking Joaquin Phoenix didn't do a very good job of, he had everything else. Even though he looked nothing like Johnny Cash, he really had the whole swagger together though, so I can't really complain about that one. But because I mean, nobody really cared about Johnny Cash's skill on the guitar. It was nice that he was holding one and he played a solid rhythm guitar, wrote songs, etc. But we're talking about like guitar. Oh really? Well, I know that Jamie Foxx had was a singer. I know that, you know, he had that song with Kanye. I'm gonna be here with mom. Whatever that song was. What song would be fun to play on this? That's really intuitive funk filter. It's not lazy. It tracks perfectly, which I really appreciate. When I say lazy, I mean sometimes you find that some effects that require tracking, for instance, like for example, like an auto wah. I don't know about tracking necessarily, but the response is perfect, as opposed to being maybe a little bit, and it's also adjustable. It's not just like there's 4 different parameters, which is really sick. I like the funk filter a lot. Oh yeah? I didn't know. Well, I knew that Jamie Foxx was sort of when he was coming up, he was sort of made himself he said he wanted to be like a triple threat guy where he was able to act and sing and do other stuff. So I think he was a dancer as well. Was he not a dancer at some point too? And he says, whatever I grab first, So that's a smart idea. Put a lot of confidence in yourself. Man, this thing's phenomenal. This sounds super good. I don't really have any space effects on it yet either. Let's put some space effects on it. It has another plugin with sparkle on it. Been noticing a few of those turning up. I like that feature, sparkle. Let's try some delay. We got standard. That's a nice sound we got for delay right now, or reverb. Really? And that's where it ended, with that note. I killed it. Y'all done killed it. Sounds great. Let's go. Jamie Foxx. Tyler, what are your thoughts on the ML Sound Lab stuff? I'm a fan of a lot of their sims, but I wish they'd mix up their pedal selections or release a suite. Okay, that's a loaded question. Trying to keep this positive. Okay. I think that a few of the ML, like, okay, here's my question for you, Ronnie. Have you tried, what other developers have you tried? That's my first question for you. Have you tried Polychrome? Have you tried WaveMind? Have you tried Neural DSP, STL Tones? Have you tried all of those companies with, be it free trials or getting their freeware, etc.? Is there anything there? Like, what have you all tried? And what happens when you put the ML Sound Lab stuff up against the other stuff? I find that the ML Sound Lab stuff. Thanks very much, Tom. I know you like your cleans, and if you say you love a clean tone, I'm glad that you enjoy. I don't do enough clean here. I know that there are people that aren't really down with the clean tones, but though, like Rudy's not really down with the clean tones. But the second half is going to be all driven stuff, folks. So I'm excited about that. Gonna be on here for a while today. I'm having a great day. It's a celebration, Richards. It's a celebration. We are celebrating my cat Brimir. Let's get can we get a round of applause? Show me some hands or hearts. Hit that little heart thing on the bottom right for Brimir. Because that is such a weight on your shoulders when you have a pet or a loved one, but let's just say pet in this case. But when you have a pet that is just, not doing super great, you get concerned. And that for me, we're going to get a pizza tonight. The missus and I are going to order pizza from a place we've never had pizza from before. And we're going to watch The Burbs, a summer classic. I always wait for a hot day to watch it. And The Burbs, one of the best and one of the greatest movies ever fucking made. If you have not seen it, you need to see it. And you need to watch it tonight or tomorrow. Get yourself a pizza, though. And there's a reason why I'm telling you to get a pizza. If you like sardines, okay, if you like sardines and pretzels, I will also suggest that you might want to have some of those on hand. If you like that, I wouldn't put a sardine into my food hole if somebody gave me fucking money. I can't tell you how vehemently serious I am about that. But there is no chance a sardine. If somebody gave me $1,000, I'd eat a sardine. $100 is not getting it done. $500 is not getting it done. $1,000 minimum to eat a sardine. But you got to watch that movie, folks. That's what we're doing tonight. What are you doing tonight? Tell me in the comments. I'm excited to hear it. Then, of course, it's SummerSlam weekend, although it's looking a little strange because they might have some sort of flood warning or weather warning or something. I always think it's so dicey to do so dicey to do a wrestling show or a concert outside, man. It's so hard. That would be me. I did indoor festivals as a concert promoter, but never outdoor festivals. I almost did one, but our permits got turned down when they found out it was going to be metal. Who would have thought? You'd have to pay me $10,000 to eat a sardine. Okay, if you've seen The Burbs, you know why I'm mentioning sardines. If you've never seen The Burbs, it's a Tom Hanks classic. I promise you are going to laugh your ass off. I promise. It's about this. It's about like a cul-de-sac sort of suburb where a really weird fucking house exists on that block, and the people that live in it. I'm not gonna spoil it for you, but there's a reason I tell you to get a good pizza. Get yourself a good pizza or make yourself a good pizza for the occasion. I like the lightweight nature of the ML stuff. The accuracy, not so much. Okay. You know what? I don't like anybody that, Ronnie, if you've been around here enough, you'll know that I don't really like shit talking any company. I don't like dwelling on negatives of anything. Unless, no thanks. Not right now. I was wondering what the hell that was for a second. Here's what I'll say. I let you say it, right? But if you've been around here enough, you'll know I don't like to dwell. I just really don't like to dwell on negatives unless it's Positive Grid. And boys, we can talk about the shittiness of positive Grid all day long. I'm happy to throw that company under the fucking bus anytime anyone will listen, because I find them to be I find it honestly the worst technology in this industry by far. By far. There are freeware plugins. You could take the power of every Positive Grid plugin, put it into one plugin, and then you can go get the Audio or the L12X for free, and it would just come over and demolish it like it owed it, like crushed it like a strong man crushing a beer can. So stay away from Positive Grid. ML Sound Lab, here's what I will say. This company is one of the best companies on the earth creating impulse responses. I think they need to include more cabs, but they've been better about that. In the beginning, it was just they were including just files, and there was only like 4 or 5 files. But now they're doing like a 3D cab section, and I really think that's one of the benefits of the ML Sound Lab stuff is that it is very simplistic. It's really good for beginners. Really good for beginners. Very good for beginners. Super solid, easy to use, but the selection has roughly there's some real we're just gonna call them burgers in there. I'm just gonna say it. There's a couple of shit burgers in there that I would not. There's a couple of plugins that still have bugs in them from like the old days. So there's a few like the Blackout. I would tell anybody to go buy tomorrow. The ML Sound Lab Blackout is one of the best out there for that absolutely full gain, full on EVH 5153 and the stealth, etc. Like, it's really good. I was shocked at how good it really was. The pedals are, as you said, I think the pedals are kind of lazy and they're not well suited to the amps. But then again, the price point for those plugins is what are they like $40 or $50 now? Something like that? How much are they now? I'm curious. So, I mean, I really do think they have some real gems in their lineup, but I also think there's a couple of shitburgers in there as well. That's as much as I'm going to say negative about it. That being said, as far as the ML Sound Lab impulse responses go, anything, every single solitary fucking pack that bears that brand's name on the pack is incredible. And you will not go, and you cannot go wrong with ML Sound Lab IRs. It's just impossible. You will not go wrong. Whoa! Hi, Baritone Goat! Man, one of my very favorite creators, another guy that you need to go check out his channel. The dude has some savage guitars. Like, he's got such a sick guitar collection. Sick guitar collection, sick pickup collection, sick amp collection, and also lots of plugins as well. So check out Baritone Goat. So you've tried all those companies. The Volcano by ML Sound Lab kicks ass. I don't doubt that it does, and I forgot to ask Kai for it, but I'm gonna write that down right now. I was challenged to like it or not like it, and I was told that I needed to try that, so I'm gonna have to try the Volcano. Also, I think that they also have that Pink Floyd. What was that one called? The Pink Pumpkin. What was it called again? Pink Sabbath. Pink Sabbath. Is that what the one is called? Pink Sabbath. Yeah, they sent me that one, and I think if that one had a fuzz pedal in it, or that one would actually be kind of cool. But how are you gonna go and do those plugins without catering the pedals a little bit more to the amps? Like a high watt and a Laney, it's just, they're different birds, right? I think that maybe they could have used a bit of a different, maybe a fuzz, throw fuzz in, change the pedals up a little bit. And I think you got something there. Man, THU is legit. Absolutely legit. The Blackout sounds really good. It doesn't quite behave like no, it does. I'm not saying it behaves or responds like it either. We're just talking about the tone. As you're hearing, as somebody else hears it, I wouldn't say that the response is there, and it definitely does not dial in anything. That's the other thing. Is like when I always tell you guys, if a plugin only sounds good when the dial and when the controls are sitting between 4 and 6, and then when you go beyond 4 and 6 on each dial, things start to sound sketchier in either direction, that's a red flag. That's a red flag. That's a red flag that what you're using is probably more of some sort of a profile in a box. But that being said, there are a few plugins like that when you have everything set at 5, they sound fucking awesome, right? Because that's the way, ideally, you're supposed to use any profile or capture is going to sound the best it's intended to sound with all the settings on the profiler or your NAM loader or whatever at 5. If you have to go on any of those, if you have to go further than 4 to 6, when it comes to a capture or a profile, if you have to go anywhere past 4 to 6, you probably want to reach for a different capture or a different profile that's a little bit brighter or a little bit darker or whatever you're trying to accomplish. As like doing too much editing on any profile editor is just like using too much Photoshop for me. Fantastic sound. This thing is Lumos or Lumos or Lumos. The O looks like it's, I don't know, Lumos. I don't know. Either way, this thing sounds awesome, and it's a perfect inclusion into their library over at Polychrome. We're going to go and we're going to use the lead sound before we start switching things up. I'm going to turn off the delay. I might go with some delay for... Let me see this for a sec. Oh, wait. No, that's... No. All right, so this is sounding pretty cool. While I had the delay, I want to do a little bit of a lead there to see if there's some nice lead tones. We're going to go after a rhythm tone now. I might engage this guy here. Gain, volume, mids, tone, modern. Let's see what we got. Yeah, that ain't, no, you're not getting a tone like that out of Archetype Cory Wong. In my opinion. Nothing with that much, and I haven't even hit, there's like a, okay, what's the difference here? I hit the boost on the amp. That's fat, sort of raw feeling. And there's nothing really in the Cory Wong, the Archetype Cory Wong. I'm comparing these because I just feel like, you guys feel like there's sort of a similar aim demographic wise. I feel like this is actually just more useful, to be honest. I think this actually is better than Archetype Cory Wong for me and my needs. For my needs, that sounds terrific. That sounds awesome. Really good. What have I got going on back here? Have any verb on right now? There's no verb. No verb. Okay, let's turn off boost. You guys like the boost? I kind of like the boost the boost pedal better. Yeah, I like the boost pedal better than I'm going to turn that off because I want to check out some of these now. Right? This thing has so much top end headroom. Like, I turn the bright switch on. There's the brightness control that's only at 5 and the treble's only at 5. Man, you could make this thing sear a hole in a bank vault. This thing would be bright as fuck. I mean, I'm pretty much at my threshold for overly bright right now. I could make it a tiny bit more bright, but that would be like right on the cusp of feeling a little uncomfortable. Let's turn off bright and go in tight. You're right, it does. I want to get their sim of the angle. Whose? Ronnie? Which one? Polychrome has a sim of the an angle? Are you talking about the Nutcracker? I have that on the list today for second half ski here. People don't have to go beyond their analog brain to use their ears to actively dial in plugins. Well, you can. You kind of. If it's an authentic, realistic near one-to-one replica, I'd say that even when it's getting close to, and you can tell the developers put some real effort into trying to make it realistic. All the settings are there, the switches are there. I think if they've really gone and tried to make it sound authentic, and if the developer has done a good job of the amp, I think that there is really something to be said for having that skill to dial in that piece of gear in the analog world. Definitely comes in handy when you're using the plugin for sure. I don't know who Philip Sace is. Let's try some of the cabs because I'm liking where we're at now. Yeah, you see, we're getting, guys, this is getting close to modern high gain stuff here. This is pretty neat. This is pretty neat. Guys. Man, this sounds pretty good. Let's try this and bright. Nope. I liked it where it was. Let's try a little bit. Add a little brightness. Add a little more treble. Let's see where we're at. I think we're going to save this. And you guys know as well as I do what we're calling it. Beef. Love me some beef. Beef. You're like, does he have to make everything into a chug machine? Yes. Yes, I do. We're not even touching the amount of gain we have right now, though. Like, wow. I'm going to turn on the boost now. Wow. This thing is this thing could be a chug machine. That sizzle you're hearing is from these pickups. They're a P90. It's a P90 design and made to be noiseless in a humbucker housing. So it's going to be a bit more. It's going to give you a little bit more of the sizzle. Second half, you guys can make the call. Do you guys want me to come back with a cleaner guitar? Or do you guys want me to come back with something that we can chug with? Or do you want me to just come back with this guy right here and just keep on keeping on? Holy cow, I'm in love. This guitar is awesome. This is a fun. You want a brutal guitar? That sounds good, man. I can bring in what am I wearing here? I've been looking for another reason to use the Rumblebee. Maybe I'll pull the Rumblebee. But do you guys want to see? Well, okay, you guys can pick. Do you guys want to see if you guys want to see Nunchuck? I don't know if I'm going to use, if you guys want to see Nunchuck, I'm not sure what I'm going to bring back for a guitar. Dang. I don't know. We'll think about it here. But I am going to go in just a minute here to take my quick break. A little bit too much top end now. A little bit too little. Let's find that middle point. So it's got a little snarl to it, but not too much sizzle. Here we are. with the cleanest machine, and I've got to find a way to dial chugs into it. Does it chug? Yes, it chugs. That's funny thing about it. You're not getting Cory Wong, the Archetype Cory Wong, to chug. This thing's got more tones under the hood. This thing can do everything that plugin can do, and a lot more. At this point, the existence of this plugin right here now basically just rendered one of my favorite plugins completely swept under the rug for now, at least. I didn't really like the Cory Wong, Cory Wong X as much as the original. There's something about it. The response was different. The funk machine was different. This responds in the cleans a little bit more like that one, where I just like this better. Something about this, I just like it better. It's got more on board. There's just so much going on here. Oh, wow. There's also a shape EQ and a mastering EQ. Sick. So, man, there's lots happening inside this. And this plugin is just legit. Straight up legit. One of the best clean tones I've heard. It goes straight from the cleanest and most pristine of cleans to kind of arguably like kind of an 80s or even vintage or modern thrash type tones you can get if you were really so inclined. But I would say that you're probably going to want this for mostly your cleans, your edge of breakup, lots of effect laden stuff, big atmospheres. This one also, I hate to say it, but this one kind of renders the Thomas McCrock, McCrocklin suite. It kind of renders that one not useless, but the whole thing with that one is that was where I think you could find the best cleans that the company had to offer. Gain wise, that one didn't really have the, as soon as they released Nunchuck had better gains, and Nutcracker had way better high gain stuff, right? And Kiesel Hyperrig also had better gains, and arguably the clean tone was pretty good too. So McCrocklin Suite, I honestly see it as I don't really see as much of a reason to buy that one now that Lumos here is out. I can't wait to see what Thomas himself is going to do with this plugin, because the guy is a fantastic guitar player. Very, very interested to see what people are going to do with this, because I think the shred tones are definitely in here. And we know that Thomas likes to shred, knows a lot of shredders. So I'm super excited to see what comes of this one and some of the demos. I watched a couple this morning. Yeah, definitely. This thing wrecks the Cory Wong plugin. Love Polychrome. Yeah. Pull out a baritone with that same tone going. Should I pull out the baritone today, guys? Am I going baritone or am I going metal guitar? That's the choice I need from the chat right now. Am I going metal guitar? Is it going to be the Rumblebee, or is it going to be my my Harley Benton EMG collaboration? And we're going to go all the way down to F sharp. What do you guys want me to do? I'm going to keep messing around a little bit while you guys figure it out. There's one thing I want to do before we... All right. I'm going to turn that on. You're already on. Oh, I had the compressor on the whole time. I had to do it, guys. Hey! How'd that go? What? Oh. Guys, we need a moment of silence. We're going to need a moment of silence. My wife just got... She's still driving her first car. She just bought her first vehicle. I mean, she is all in getting close to 40, but she did... She did buy her own vehicle just a few years ago. Today, we got a moment of silence for her very first car repair bill. How much was it? Let's get it. My guess was it's going to be $1,450. Let's hear the drum roll, please. Canadian dollars, folks. $1,394 to change them struts, springs, etc. She had it all changed, the front end, some front end stuff going on. So let's hear a moment of silence. We're going to take a moment of silence there, or you guys can clap as well. Either one, it's fine too. Guys, I'm going to take my break. Press F to pay your respects. Metal guitar, metal. Everybody wants the metal guitars. All right, guys, metal guitar it is. Sorry, baritone. Another time. I was in it with you on that one, man. I was in it with you on that one because, man, the baritone sounds so fucking sick with those EMGs in it. Oh my god, I kind of want to play it, but even more, what I want to do is it bugs me because I really want to do the 18-volt mod to it, but there's just no fucking room under that pickguard. Everybody's paying you respects. My wife thanks you for paying your respects. All right, Lumos. Yeah, but guys, go get the free trial. Go get the free unrestricted trial and try this out for yourself. Don't take my word for it, but my word is this is a fucking 10 out of 10 plug-in. This is a 10 out of 10 plug-in, and there's just so much value. I haven't even gotten to all the parts of this plugin, but there's just so much value here that if you guys like, whether it's edge of breakup or if you need something, and we all need something for clean tones, even for little tiny parts. This is your guy right here. Tap this guy for all your cleans for the next little bit. Try the free trial. I'm going to be back with Nutcracker, Nunchuck, and Hyper Rig. We're going to be here for about another 60 minutes. And then, you could let you guys go on your way. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate each and every one of you. And you know I do. You know we do here as a team. So please do like, subscribe, help us continue to grow. We're organic about this, guys. We don't do marketing. We don't do really anything that's big, right? We just like to do what we do, grow organically, and more people that drop in, the better. And thank you guys for being some of those people that dropped in today. I'll be back in 2 or 3 minutes. Thanks again. And in the meantime, we'll throw some tunes on. Cheers, everybody.
Inside rooms
going on, everybody? I didn't really mean to leave this on. In fact, something really suspect could have come on. We would have never known. We're going to listen to Spirit World for the rest of this stream because I've just been absolutely loving the living hell out of Heldorado. One of the best albums I think I've ever heard, metal-wise. And yeah, I'm calling this metal, even though there's like some aspect of country and shit in here. It's wow, what an album. If you haven't heard Heldorado by Spirit World yet, get on it. One of the coolest and the sickest guitars I've ever seen in my entire life as well. No! Oh man. Guys, I forgot the tuna. Hold on. All right, now we're cracking. How's everybody doing? Man, this chat is slowed. There's only 5 people here now, but we got it. And you know what? The 5 people still here. Let's dress this shit up a little bit. Come at me, bro. Ask me anything. Go ahead. Bring it. Let's do an Ask Me Anything. Plugins or otherwise. Make it within reason, right? But yeah, bring it. You guys got to ask me anything. If you got if there's anything you'd want me to try in the Polychrome plugins, let me know. This is my Ibanez RG. Is it a 420? No, this one's the RG 350M. Love this guitar. I got it for quite cheap on Reverb back quite some time ago now, probably about 6-7 years ago. Pre the coof. And did I lose the comments? Did I lose the chat? I did. Damn. Play what's more fun for you. I hate when that happens. I literally hate when the chat goes stagnant and then it just for whatever reason I've got to reboot the chat. I really need a proper way of monitoring this chat. Have I tried the Mick Thompson blackouts? Yes, in fact. Yep. I have. I did like them. I don't remember much about them though. This is this is my Ibanez RG, and it has a single DiMarzio super distortion in it, which some don't believe is really a pickup for low tunings. A lot of people believe that this particular pickup is best suited for, higher tunings. What is this all about? New version available in my account. Oh, new version? Well, shit. Guys, hold up. We'll just chat it out here for a sec. Do I want to do that? Yeah, hang on. Dang it. I like to make sure everything is current. Let's go to all phase for just 1 sec. And let's just do this. It'll take 2 seconds. The guitar tone on the Spirit World album, by the way, damn, so good. And I'm just gonna do this. Might be a Windows noise. Do. Might be a Windows noise or two here, guys. It is what it is. I regret nothing. And just making sure we got the current version here. Ding, ding, ding. Windows noise. And we're almost settled here. Blast it. Oh, hang on. It's because I have it open. It was mad. You have it open, stupid. Hold on. What do you mean? Oh man, that's super annoying. I might not be able to use it in that form today. Another Windows noise. And yep. All right, so that's not happening right now. We're just going to use it as it was. I would imagine that there was just some bug fixes anyways. And I didn't get any bugs. So I don't think they added anything new. I don't think anything was different. So let's just pretend that with that red light is not blinking at me. Whoa! Ronnie Webster, you're going to get your wish this year. I'm happy to be able to tell you that this guy right here, have you ever heard of This Heavy Earth? And have you ever heard of the Flesh Rot? I'm happy to be able to tell you that this guy right here is going to be done by A-Cory DSP, along with several pedals. Okay, there's going to be several of these pedals in the mix. I believe the Grim 3D, Spectral Gate, the Crucifixion, I believe, is one of them. Or is it just the Grim 3? I can't remember exactly. I'd have to go look. And there is one other one, and I can't remember it off the top of my head. There also may be some things added over time. But this amp is based on the Ampeg VH140C, but also has some different abilities involved with this amp that gives us the modern touch, if you will. Just the modern touch. Not a big fan of this song, though, if I'm being honest. All right. So this will be coming out. Also, there's going to be a signature suite coming in 2025. A signature suite is coming that may or may not. Wow, that hurt my ears. That may or may not involve the Ampeg VH140C. So that's what I can tell you at this point in our lives together. That you, my friend, are finally going to be in you and others, the many others wanting the Ampeg VH140C to exist in plug-in form are probably going to get your luck, or going to get your wish rather, this year. I hope that makes you happy as it makes me happy. We're going to check out Nutcracker. And this thing crushes. I'm going to turn this down just a little bit. There's one thing about Nutcracker for me is that I find it sounds... I have a particular impulse response that I use with it a lot. And I'm not saying by saying this, I'm not... Oh, come on, dude. Why you got to be like that? All right. And I'm not saying that I don't like the IRs involved here because they do sound cool. But I'm going to use my own IR here. Man, I love this singer. It's just yelling all the time. I feel everything he's yelling at me. I have no idea what he's saying. Not a clue. But I know he means it. All right. This particular impulse response sounds super good with this plugin, so I'm going to use it. That's sounding pretty solid. Sounds good to me. We're going to get to it. The boosty booster here. I like this pedal. This sounds pretty sick. I'll give the chat. I'll see if the chat can answer Rudy's question. Just for fun. If not, that's fine. I bet the chat will be able to answer you. That's a nice lead tone. I like that lead tone. Let's check that out again. It's a very simplistic lead tone, but I like it. A little buried in the mix, though. Yeah, it's the EGA 412. It's an angle cabinet for an angle 412 cabinet from Dr. Bonkers called the EGA. Pack is called the EGA 412 EGA. For years, I was under the impression it was an igniter cabinet, which is hilarious. I don't even know why I thought that. It's just a pack that I got from Mike, and just started rolling with it. I started playing with it. Never really, I don't even think I even looked at what it was. Midstream, I actually went and looked it up. I'm like, oh my God, my whole world crumbled around me. And it's actually an angle 412. It sounds super good. And I'm using the 414 Hype Reel mix. And his Hype Reel mix is, in my opinion, some of the best in the industry. I use this with everything. When I'm first trying out amp sims, this is one of the first impulse. This is the first impulse response I try with all new plugins, just because I want to. Sometimes I want to see what the amp is just gonna give me on its own. So it's super sick. So check it out. Kyle Hunter, nice. Are you excited, sir? It's the weekend. It's a little bit more top end. Oh, yeah. Yeah. That sounds nice. Fucking so tough. So tough. Punk versus Gunther has my interest for sure. That's gonna be fucking fun, boys. For the Slam of the Summer, yes. Me excited for Slam of Summer, yes. That fuck you tone right there. That's exactly what you're hearing right now. I don't like this one song. I don't like, this is the one, there's one song here I don't like. It's this one. Waiting on the Reaper might be one of the best songs I've ever heard when it comes to like meatball metal. I would call this, what do you guys call this? Would you guys would you guys call this metalcore? Would you call, I don't even know what's what for John. I just call it metal now. It's heavy. But with this tone, guys, we've stopped the broadcast here a couple times for this tone, and we're gonna do it again. That was so fucking good, dude. Man. Like, this tone's really good, but I kind of feel like I just watched somebody eating steak and went back to my bologna sandwich. You know, like, listen to that tone. I went back to this. I'm like, fuck! I'm just kidding. No shots whatsoever on the Nutcracker here because I love the tone we're using. I'm just saying the tone on the album was so fucking good that I go back to this and I'm like, geez, why can't I be using that tone? Oh, the Rakes boys. The fucking Rakes boys. Bum, 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 whoop. Did I lose him again? Fuck, man. What's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing? Liven the fuck up, everybody. I'm just kidding. You guys are doing great. I'm totally teasing. You guys are doing awesome today. I'm just excited. I'm just having a great day. Oh, man. The backup's here, guys. We got to go. You know what we're doing? Oh, it's so good. Why have I never thought, in all the years of recording hardcore and everything, why have I never ever thought to use a huh as a gang vocal? Huh. Huh. Oh, we got to do it, guys. You know we got to listen to it. It's so good. Fucking, I love it. I just love it. I don't know whose suggestion that was, but whoever in the band, or if the producer or whoever it was that suggested we do a huh right there. Fuck yeah, you're the man. That's such a great choice. What a great small thing. Just a two small little things that you put in a song. The listener goes, man, that was awesome. There's how many awesome things that we heard in that song alone. Man. That is picking slopified. Play one of my old songs for fun. sick. Yeah, I like this plugin a lot. I haven't used it as much as I would have liked. But man, I really like it. It really gives you that genty, modern, high gain mom. Anybody doesn't know what a mom is? We like to talk about the mom factor around here, and that's MAWMP, mom. And it's this. Mom. Mom. And I hear that mom, and I'm just like, man, that is where I parked my car. That is where I want to have my picnic and have a good time with this tone. I love that, just that snarling but controlled and articulate mid, kind of upper mid section that's just giving you a little bit, just that nice little bit of twang. You know what I mean? Go Celtic fan. You ever hear the song by Stormtroopers of Death called Whatever Happened to Celtic Frost? I think the song is actually called Celtic Frosted Flakes. If you haven't heard that song, whatever happened to Celtic Frost? Is it true that they got lost? It says something about Tom Warrior going to Megatherion. Fucking ridiculous. If you've never heard, if you're a sensitive little kitten, don't listen to Stormtroopers of Death, okay? They got, like, canceled, but because Scott Ian's in the band, you can't cancel anything Scott Ian does because Scott Ian is amazing, and the entire world will come to his aid if necessary, all right? You go ahead and try to cancel Scott Ian. You will meet the wrath of many. I tell you what, that man is a goddamn national treasure. I'm not American when I say national. I mean the metal nation. He is a national treasure to us. Protect Scott Ian at all costs. Too many of my childhood heroes have been passing away recently. Please protect Scott Ian, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone. Please protect them at all costs. Weird Al Yankovic, please protect Weird Al. Ronnie Webster, JCM 900, yes. Is the, it says here, well, are you familiar with the Neural Amp Modeler? Do you use NAM Universal? If you're familiar with the Neural Amp Modeler and NAM Universal, then you're gonna find a whole bunch of JCM 900 stuff that kicks around on tone. Wait, no, we got to do it. It's been a while. It's been too long. You can definitely go and find a whole bunch of JCM 900 stuff on Tone 3000. Formerly known as Tone Hunt, which was a way cooler name. It sounded like somebody's it sounded like somebody got their grandmother to rename it. It sounds wonderful, sweetie. Why don't you just call it Tone 3000 instead? You're hunting for tone. We were all hunting for tone. Wow, that tone. See, it says they use the EVH 5153. That sounds an awful lot like a Jose modded Marshall. I mean, essentially, the EVH 5153 was supposed to be kind of a modified Marshall anyways, because that's what the man kind of, that dude was one of the pioneers of Marshall amp modification. Man, I'm having fun with this tone. I don't really want it to go. No, I'm not that fast anymore. Wow. This sounds great. Messy, messy. How the hell's everyone doing today? You do use NAMM Universals. Okay, so if you want JCM 900, NAMM Universal is going to be the one way to get it, or any NAMM loader for that matter. The next best way, if I'm not mistaken, is there not one in THU? Is there not a... There's a Brit 900 in something. One of those platform plugins has a Brit 900 of some sort. I don't remember which one it is. Also, if I'm not mistaken, Kuasa is very popular. Amplification, Caliburn, Caliburn, Caliburn. That plugin, I believe it's either Amp 2 or Amp 3 is a JCM 900. I think it's Amp 3 is a JCM 900. Amp 1 is the JTM 45. Amp 2 is a JCM 800. And the Amp 3 in that plugin, as far as I remember, when I spoke to the guys at Kuasa way back when it came out, I have to go review again, but I'm pretty sure it's the 900. Is it super authentic? That one is actually pretty good. Yeah, you're also talking to a guy that was just really not a big fan of the 900. Once upon a time, toured with a band that was using two brand new, spanking new 900s that their mommies and daddies bought for them for tour. And the problem is they just wanted them to be loud, and they had no idea what they wanted them to sound like. Like, they had no idea. They just wanted loud. They had no idea how to shape the tone at all with these amps. They had no idea. So, myself and the other guy in my band, we helped them dial in their tones. Like, we helped them over time and to dial things in. And at first, they're like, whoa, you know, you want to like... And then they, like, heard our guitar tone that we were getting with just valve states. And they're like, well, we have way bigger amps, and your tone's way better than ours. So... what's the story there? And then we're just like, okay, you know, just helping them not just dial in the same tone. That's one thing that guitar players in the same band often miss. They don't do right. You got to think of it as perspective. That there's not all, like, no, I'm not saying a lot, like all guitar players do this. There are a lot of bands, I don't know that they do it though. I think bands would really with their finger on the pulse of how to be a professional band and such. I think those bands have it on the finger to the pulse, but I think there are some bands where both guitar players just focus on getting their favorite tone out of their gear, as opposed to working together on two tones that complement each other. That's what I've always tried to do in any two guitar player band I'm in, and anybody that's recorded, whether you've dual tracked or quad tracked, you will have had to, you know, do probably some ducking on one and the other. You don't want to use ever. And if you're maybe somebody that just doesn't know, you never want to use the same exact tone for both guitars. Even if, you know, one way that you could, if you use different guitars, different pickups would certainly change the tone a lot, but I would still suggest changing some things in the tone. And I think that a lot of bands, you'll just find both guitar players will be very focused on getting the tone they really want, like themselves. Like they'll stand in front of their amp and say, man, that sounds amazing. But then if both guitar players have similar rigs and are going after similar sounds, that doesn't always benefit the band. Sometimes you'll want one guitar player to go with a bit more of a flat bass, flatter in the treble with more mids. And then you'll want the other guitar player to go with mids. And, you know, you got mids and bass, and then you're scooping out. Sorry, you've got bass up 7, you know, you've got your treble up, and then you've got your mids down. It really depends on the amps you're using. A nice natural way that I've always seen for two bands to work, with two guitar players to work together, is when you see like a rectifier and a JCM 800 on the stage. You're like, man, this is going to be, the tone's going to be good. But I think one of the best combinations I ever heard was hearing a rectifier on one side of the stage, and the other guitar player had a Soldano SLO 100 on the other side of the stage. And that just sounded like, whoa. Because one amp is naturally very, very scooped, and it's got a very scooped voicing. And rectifiers are a very scooped sounding amp. You can crank that mid control up all you want, and it's not going to really do a whole hell of a lot. It does, but it doesn't at the same time. What I'm saying is the amp is generally wants to be scooped. And then as the other side of the stage, you've got the Soldano SLO 100 that has more mids than you could ever require in anything. So that thing is just awesome. And then those two guitar players clearly worked together, or maybe the amps are just naturally blended really well. I also really like an EVH, just any 5150 blended. This one band I heard blended the 5150 with a VHT Pitbull, and that was like, whoa, this sounds really cool. Another great combination, hearing a Marshall on one side of the stage, and on the other side of the stage, a Hi-Watt with the Marshall kind of scooped out. Great. These are some nice amp combinations. Tell me in the comments, in the chat, tell me, what is your favorite combination of amps, whether it just be plugins or not? I love blending amps, and I think it's just maybe one of my favorite things to do about recording is getting to choose which amps go together and getting those moments to really blend the guitar tones in a way that really, where one benefits where they kind of work together on this massive wall of sound. You know what I mean? Yeah, there's also other things you can do. You can keep the tone the same. Maybe you just use a different guitar. A lot of people, what they do is they keep the amps. A lot of people I know, tons of people, they'll use the same plugin, same amp sim rather, on all the guitars, and they'll just change the cabinets. In my friend's case, he uses the Kazrog 1992, Ampcraft 1992 a lot, and then he'll use a blend. He'll use Marshall impulse responses on one side, and then a Mesa OS impulse response on the other side. And even just that, you can keep the same amp settings, keep the same pickups all you want, same guitar, same everything else. But those tones are going to be very different. So there are a lot of ways. What I'm saying is do not use two identical setups that are set up the exact same, same guitar, same everything else on 4 tracks. That is not the best idea. You're not doing yourself the due diligence and really making that quad tracking, the purpose of quad tracking. The whole purpose of it is to get, those 4 guitars to sound like 2 really big guitars, right? So again, a lot of fun. Slipknot did the 5150 Pitbull blend in the early 2000s. Did they now? Really? I didn't know Slipknot ever used the 5150. This thing sounds just so big, and I'm so glad I tried the DiMarzio Super Distortion in here. I'm so glad I did it because it sounds super good. Super bright, very articulate with low tunings as well as up as it's a boomer pickup though, as I have read. Wow. Wow, this is Nutcracker by Polychrome DSP. We started the stream very quiet and clean and, so innocent. We started the stream with some beautiful clean tones. I really don't even think we scratched the surface of the ice on that one. I think that the Lumos, there's way more under the hood than we even touched today. I didn't even touch most of the pedals. And I'm giving it a 10. A fucking 10. Giving it a 10 out of 10. I can't wait to try it again on a track because I can promise you that is my go-to for cleans. Instantly, I used it one time and it instantly made it my go-to for cleans. Do you guys have any idea how many plugins I have that have absolutely awesome cleans? For me to be able to use a plugin just one time and instantly say, this is now my go-to for cleans, that really does say something. Okay, so check out Polychrome DSP Lumos ASAP. I think you will be very pleasantly surprised. Even if you're not a clean player all the time, as I am not very clearly, I like to play a lot of surf. I do like to play a lot of country, like chicken picking. Today, didn't really get into that, just didn't even scratch the surface. So the whole purpose was to just crank out a few basic tones, go over the plugin. I really, really like it. And you guys are going to see a lot more of Lumos in the future. Ibanez plus Super Distortion must be on more albums than we think. Fucking right, man. Guaranteed. I would bet you that the DiMarzio Super Distortion is one of the most recorded pickups in music history. And it's just so hilarious that there's this generation. I'm not going to be a boomer. I'm a boomer. That generation's them kids. I'm not trying to give you the old man conversations here, but there's just this angle, this really silly angle where anything that is older than 10 years old is for boomers. Anything made more than 20 years ago, we'll say, is something of obsolete past that we should treat like Sanskrit and payphones. Ridiculous. It's just so silly. There are certain pickups that were like I think the Super Distortion came out in the early 70s. The Seymour Duncan Invader came out in the really, really early 80s. And there are a lot of pickups that we use today that came out a long time ago because it just like this technology has been around a while. You know what I mean? It's like anything that wasn't invented in my lifetime is for boomers. What? So some strange outlooks these days with the younger generations, but I will tell you factually that the DiMarzio Super Distortion, listen to this thing bash B flat. Like, yeah, I'm only in B flat. One could say this is not really that low, but it's really easy for me to play some open notes and hear how this pickup would translate to something like F sharp or even lower. If I play these low notes. That you can just tell that that's going to provide anybody that's tuning in F sharp, or if you're tuning even lower, like I said, this pickup is going to give you enough clarity to do that. I can just tell. You can just listen to it in B flat and tell that it's got tons of headroom left in the clarity before it would start to mud out. It's a very clear pickup, very, very punchy, and I think it would really excel if more people gave it a shot for lower tunings. I do believe that the Super Distortion is 100% available in 7-string. I don't know about 8-string though. You'd have to assume the Super Distortion is available in 8-string as well. So I would love to hear how the Super Distortion translates to those lower tunings. Like I would love to try it myself, actually, not just hear it. Xander Bananas. Man, Xander Bananas, I'm not even kidding you though. Have you not go and try the lead channel with the with the like it's like a I think it's like a low pass. Engage the tube screamer, and man, turn the gain up a little bit. We didn't even max the gain out, and I was getting some pretty nasty, like thrashy type tones. Like I have no doubt in my mind that thing can do some nice metal, and it instantly replaces Archetype Cory Wong in my collection. It does everything that plugin can do and a lot more. So yeah, I like to have main plugins for various slots, like a top 3 or top 5 for various slots, various genres and styles. And I think that Lumos plugin is going to make a whole bunch of appearances. It just making me want to do a surf stream right now. So I'm definitely going to sit down with it with my surf guitar and try to kind of muddle out a nice preset for surf, maybe something for chicken picking. We're going to come back with it another time and do some really nice clean tone stuff with it. Yeah, man, Xander Bananas, don't kid yourself. You can make it angry. I made it pretty angry, and it sounded good when it was angry. You know, like some amps that are more designed to be more of a vintage sound, or amps that are supposed to be more of like that older school edge of breakup 60s 70s 80s type vibe. I get it. A lot of the times those amps, when you crank them up gain wise, they just start fluparping apart. It's just like blah, 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 blah. And it doesn't stay tight and super focused, whereas we did that definitely with Lumos, and we got some pretty nice tones. I was pretty shocked. I was shocked by some of the higher gain stuff I was running into. Try the lead channel, activate that drive or the screamer, whatever it is, scoop it out a little bit, and then play around with some of the switches up on the right. I believe I had tight. No, it was either bright in the low pass or tight in the low pass, but I didn't do the boost because the boost pedal gave me something better that I liked. Yeah, no, I mean, Nunchuck, though, was based on the hot rodded Marshalls, which are by design, rather, nasty, filthy beasts, loud, noisy, angry animals. And that plugin does a really, really good job of the modified Marshall sound. Although I will say, guys, there is a modified Marshall plugin coming out in 2025 that, guys, it is going to spin some heads fully around 720 degrees. I have tried it. I am in on the project, and I could not be more blown away, even just by like the alpha status of the plugin. This is going to be something else, folks. Marshall fans, Marshall fans have so many fun things to play with, though, right? Nunchuck is incredible, and I'm not trying to take away from Nunchuck because it is factually one of the best modified Marshall type beasts out there. I knew this year, or I actually thought it was going to be last year, but I knew it was coming, and I think a lot of us knew it was coming. There's going to be this wall of modified Marshalls coming out. And why? Because modified Marshalls kick ass. Yes, stock Marshalls are awesome too, but man, modified Marshalls, let's try this. The Marshall modification history has produced some of the nastiest and tightest and craziest sounding amps. So man, I wish I was one of those people that just knew how to modify amps, because, and not even that, guys, there are a lot of amps that we all know and love that are not Marshalls that were based off of modified Marshalls, like the Solo 100, modified Marshall, everything free, most of the stuff Friedman's ever done, modified Marshalls, Splon, modified Marshalls. We could go on and on and on, modified Marshalls. And then, but then again, it also technically kind of always comes back to that old basement schematic in some ways anyways. JCM 2000. Interesting. I am not a fan of that amp at all. The 900, I could have love for if it's set up the right way, but the 2000, there's a couple Marshall amps that I've just, woo. There's that, do you remember the Marshall MOSFET? That thing sounds like a turd wrapped up in another turd. It sounds so bad. But this amp sim right here, this nutcracker, let's go to the screen. This thing is an absolute fucking creature of high gain. It's just so ballsy. And before we go, I was going to get to the keys of the hyper rig, which I'm not going to end up getting to today. This was the best tone I think I came up with today. Wow. Like this, it's a searing tone. It's my flesh is gonna fall off. I'm a big fan of the Marshall JCM 800 2210 is my personal favorite. That thing is awesome. I didn't really care for the reverb tank. I don't know if anybody cared, but having the dual channel 800 where the lead channel has a little bit more snot and balls, and then there's that AC/DC clean channel where you just kind of crank the master, or so you bring back the master and crank the channel volume, and all of a sudden you're just Malcolm Young. Boom, done. Malcolm Young. It's a wrap. So anyways, guys, also I'm going to give Nutcracker it's a nice high score. I think this one rocks about an 8.5 for me out of 10. Lumos is getting a full-on 10 out of 10. It's a 10. It's a 10. Love it. Absolutely love it. And but this thing is awesome too. Is it the heaviest amp sim ever made? It's one of them for sure. One of them. Is it the heaviest amp sim ever made? I wouldn't say. I wouldn't give it. There are a lot that multiple people could consider the heaviest amp sim ever made, but this one definitely lives up in the upper echelon of quality, high gain masterpieces. Guys, thank you so much for being here. I am on my way out. I'm going to go spend time with the missus, eat some food, play some games, watch some wrestling, and generally just try to relax a little bit. How much is the Nutcracker? I have absolutely no idea. Everyone made a mod Marshall better than Marshall. Well, the thing is, though, Marshall never, they never really got behind that. They did, however, look at other people's mods and find ways to potentially incorporate them later on in other things. So, but yeah, it was very strange. Maybe they were just, there's got to be a theory. I mean, I don't know if it was Jim Marshall or whoever at the company that was just like, nah. We're not modifying our own. We're not going to put weird little mini switches on things and dials on the back and other random shit. We're not going to do that. But I do think they definitely took a look at some of the things that people were doing to their amps and took that into consideration. Maybe didn't do the exact mod, but looked at the mods and said, what are these people trying to do with this particular modification? Is it desirable? Is it an in-demand desirable thing that lots of people will want? If so, then yes, maybe we'll look to figure out our own way to kind of do something like this without actually doing the modification and not having to give anybody else any kudos or credit, so to speak, right? Maybe, I don't know. This is all speculation. I don't know these things. Maybe there's a very clear-cut answer that I don't know about because I don't read too many things sometimes. I don't know. Anyways, guys, thank you for being here. Like and subscribe as always, please and thank you. I will be back at some point, likely tomorrow, with the Range 120. I don't know if it's going to be tomorrow or Sunday or Monday or when it's going to be, but I'm going to be back with the Range 120 from Nembrini Audio. Go and check it out. It just came out, I believe, today. It is based on an old Orange, and the thing is awesome. You guys heard some of it, a little tiny bit of it in as the secret plugin in the last Doom Tomb, or no, the Orange amp stream rather. Yeah, the JCM 900 was a response to the modified Marshall thing. Yeah, we may never know. Awesome. Happy birthday, Ton. Thank you so much for being here on your birthday. Have a great rest of your day. I hope you have a lot of fun, and please celebrate as long as you can being in your 20s, because you have one more year to enjoy it until you're dirty 30. You're starting to turn that corner to getting old. All right. Thanks so much for your time, guys. I'll see you next time.
Did you miss me? Yeah. What? MC Vagina's right back in this bitch. 2009 is the year that I